Hey. All
Hey,
right.
all
Welcome
right, all right,
to Talk.
all right, all right, all right.
Yes. I love this music right here.
What kind is it?
It's just a little royalty-free hip hop.
Oh, it reminds me of the music for the Quiet Storm. You remember when it was 10 something? You know, at
One,
night when they played the Quiet Storm?
104. 104. Oh, yeah. I used to love the Quiet Storm back
Yeah,
in the day.
the lightning come in. It might have been a little slower, but it just kind of put me in that mood,
Yeah, it does put you in the mood. Does put you in the mood. Well, welcome everyone to After the Talk, Mental Health and Comedy. So I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. It kept us laughing, but it was some serious parts to it, which I love about that. What do you think, Natasha? What did you like?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I think it was more serious than anything because they had some stories to tell, and I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna do the funny part next time because I mean they had some deep stories, but I think it was great to see the transparency of how they're like a coping skill for us. That may not sound good, but that y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's like they are, but then they still need that layer of support too. And it's like, wow, we expect you to be experts on happy because you can make us happy, but that's not always the case. And
Well,
so it was nice just to kind of hear their story and just kind of see, like, wow, because now I get that strength and that passion and that gifting, and I can respect it even more than I have before because it's like, it may come natural, but what you have to, persevere through and what you have to push through just to do it. I'll hands down respect.
yeah, I love their personal stories. I love what Les shared about. There have been times where he's cried on his way to the show and cried on his way home, but he still had to do that show. And he said, I'm going to give him what I got so I can get this check. That shows the grind, but it also shows the true gift to be able to put your own personal feelings aside to do the job. And, I appreciate him being transparent about that. Josie was transparent. She kept it real, and shared some do's and don'ts when it comes to, people promising you this and that, when you're trying to get your foot in the door and trying to get these bookends. And then Wanda shared, that the pandemic kind of thrust her into TikTok world, and she's built up a following over 30,000 followers, which I think is awesome. Since her full-time trade is artistry and cosmetology, it's amazing to see that she's been able to reinvent herself and really kind of explore that hidden talent, of her being considered a comedian or even an actress. So I think they all had a great story to tell, great story to tell. But we always have a ram in the bush, right? We got this after talk. And we always bring in somebody who is also in the trade, also in the talents of comedy. And so, Natasha.
Tonight, we're doing it a little bit different, y'all. We're not even calling them on the phone. Tonight, guess what? They getting ready to come live. That's live. We have none other than the great comedian, Mr. Rob. Right. What's up, man? What's up,
man? What up,
What's
Mr.
going
Rob?
on, y'all?
How you
y'all
doing? How you doing?
Good. Tired, but good.
Thank you for joining us. I know you joined us right after work.
Yeah, and then when I leave here, I got to go to work. So
what?
Oh yeah, man. Job.
Well, we appreciate the love, brother. We do. We definitely do. We definitely do. So listen, Rob, how'd you like the show tonight? Tell me a little bit. What you think?
Man, it was a great show. I tuned in. I was watching it while I was working. I was cleaning and watching at the same time. So I had my earphones in. I had my phone in one hand. I had my rag in the other hand, and I was working. So it was a great show. Man. Great show.
Where was your favorite part?
Y'all might not know this, but Les Long is my cousin. So everything I that he was saying, like I know to be true. You know what I'm saying? Especially growing up, because I'm from Lewisburg. So growing up in a small town, and Had to pick cucumbers and and prime tobacco in the summer. That was our thing to do. That's the only thing we had to do was pick cucumbers. And thanks to his great aunt, which is my grandmother, I spent a lot of time in cucumber fields. Let me tell you.
Wow.
So is there a connection with cucumbers and comedy? Is there?
No. No.
Cucumbers and comedy.
Not at all.
I just thought I'd ask. I'm aspiring. I'm gonna be a comedian one day too.
I wouldn't even wish my worst enemy to go pick cucumbers.
Well, I thought tobacco was worse than cucumbers.
Man, I'll prime tobacco any day. Cucumbers is not a hard job, but it's tedious.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you get every cucumber, even the little picky ones. You got to get them off the vine. And you bent over the whole time. At least with prime tobacco, you can stand up.
Oh. But they got those worms in the tobacco, the worms and all that and everything.
Oh, man, it's worms everywhere.
Oh.
You're in the field.
Okay.
I used to ride the cucumber truck with my granddaddy. We used to go to the cucumber factory and get our crates of cucumbers. There's a lot of cucumbers.
Did he pay you in peanuts? I got a soda and some peanuts. I think,
really?
Yeah. And a nab.
For working, that's it.
Yeah, for working in cucumber field. That's what I
did. We ain't gonna tell the labor board.
Wow. That was some serious pay. What? Well, you sound like the story sounded like you were way older than I thought you was. So I ain't gonna ask you how old you are. But if you're getting paid with nab peanuts and a soda,
yeah.
That sounds like a story my dad or somebody used to tell. We went to the movies and had ice cream and dinner for 25 cents. That sounds like one of them stories.
I'm not as old as Les. Les is a little. He's about 7.
Les said he's 50 years old.
Yeah, he's about 7 years older than me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. We ain't gonna do the math. We ain't gonna do the math on that. So okay. So what do you? Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a little bit about you. How did you start off in comedy?
Oh man, my story is a little similar to Josie, and that's my sister in comedy. So we've been rocking since 2013. Actually, we met at the Mike Epps competition. JoJo and I basically, I was working. I've always been a clown, but I never thought about getting into comedy. I've done music. I've sung in the choir. Like I've produced, managed groups, things like that. And started having kids, and it was just like work. You know what I mean? Just work. And I was working at Walmart, and they would always say, "Man, you miss your calling. You need to be on somebody's TV." So me and the guy that worked there, he was like, I'm gonna see if I can find you an open mic. So he found me one in Clayton, North Carolina. It was LOL. Later it became Comedy Zone, but it was LOL. And so I went and I auditioned for a guy, Matt Mowry. He's a comic. He was the owner of the club at the time, but he ended up closing and went to New York to pursue his, career. And he liked me and asked me to come back the following week, and I've been on stage ever since.
You talking about the comedy club over there by where Barry used to be out in Clayton?
Yeah, right off of 7. Right on 7.
Yeah. That was in the cut. Yeah. A lot of people said it was a nice spot. There was some hidden talent out there. Oh yeah,
it's a nice spot. I end up few years later, 2016, I end up actually booking for a Comedy Zone for that particular club. Comedy Zone is a franchise, so they have like multiple clubs on the East Coast. But I end up doing all the booking for that. So that was a great experience for me. I learned a lot about comedians, like celebrity comedians. I learned a whole lot.
So I know you watched the show, and the twist is, you know, how you correlate mental health and the comedy. And you just said you learned a lot from people. You know, that's obviously through observation and experiences. So share with us a little bit about your understanding connection with mental health and in what you have come to know in your world of comedy.
Well, I'm going to say like for my household, like my 22-year-old suffers from um, bipolarism. So he has since he was 12. He was diagnosed when he was 12. So dealing with him, and you know, he's a great guy. He's a father himself, and so he has to like learn. He had to learn to like laugh, basically. You know, smile, and I think I've helped him a lot with that because when me and him together, he's silly. You know, it's kind of like all the problems that he's going through goes away. You know, and like now dealing with my oldest son, he's 24 now. He's dealing with depression. Back in 2000, matter of fact, I never forget it. It's August 7th, 2015. He was at work, and a trailer truck pinned him into a pole, crushed his entire pelvis. And so he ended up having, it was like 12 hours of surgery. You know, doing the 12 hours, 8 hours of it was trying to save his life. So he's dealing, he's good. You know, physically, you know, he can walk, stand, run, do whatever. But he is with the colostomy bag for life. So he has to deal with, he feels like he's a cripple. And I'm like, no, you know, you're not a cripple. You're just like anybody else. You know, you just have to deal with, you just do things a little different than we do now, or what you're accustomed to. And so, and he's a clown as well. Matter of fact, me and him we have a viral video together on YouTube.
Okay. You have to check it out. What's the name of it?
He said, "Lock the door." It just reached 5.9 million views this week. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
wow. You have to, what's the title of it again, Rob?
He said, "Lock the door." If you go to comedian, just key in comedian Rob Wright, channel pull right up.
Okay. That's the
check it out.
How long is it? You want me to play it? How long is it?
It is 49 seconds, but it's a little vulgar, so you might know. Yeah,
we done heard a lot tonight. We saw this and all kind of stuff. We done heard a lot tonight. How about
that shit is pre-screened? You right. We'll wait.
Yeah, you might want to pre-screen that.
Well, that's what's up. So basically using your gift to kind of help your kids get through some of the things that they've been dealing with in life, as well as yourself,
right.
You know, family, you know, you're right. I think that's similar to what Wanda shared. She has a loved one who has been living with bipolar. And then, you know, again, other people have had their connections to a loved one who's been living with mental illness. So, you know, fast forward comedy, you know, I know you probably use that as a way to kind of bring a smile to them, but does it also, do you find it as therapeutic for yourself?
It is. It is my therapy. That's why I try to not only go to open mics to work on new material, but I mean, being on stage is my therapy. You know, when I need to get away, or sometimes I just go to a comedy show. I'm not even on the show. I just go because I love being in the environment. You know what I mean? And so it, you know, cares of the world doesn't even matter when you're at a comedy show. At least it's supposed to be that way. You know what I'm saying? It's not always the case, but for most people, I think they go to comedy shows to escape that. You know what I mean? during the pandemic, it's been, that's why I noticed that like there's a lot of Zoom shows. I've been on a few Zoom shows myself. And the people that connect and watch the Zoom shows, I feel like they're the ones that understand that, hey man, I just need to sit down and just get away from the troubles right now. You know what I mean? And so hopefully, we can all get back on stage and do what we do best,
But I love it though, because, being resilient and kind of working our way through all that's going on, finding ways to still meet people where they are, I think is awesome. People are turning to social media, and people are able to utilize social media to still get their talents across, their gift across. So in the meantime, until we get back to the way, prayerfully things will be better than what they were even before.
Absolutely.
We'll just continue to lean on technology to get us through as a bridge. So, cool deal.
So I got one more question for you. So what thing did you hear tonight from the show that really you could say that hit home with you as a comedian as well? What was that one thing?
I mean, it's so many subjects they touched on. Like Les was right. You in this business, you have to have a thick skin. You know what I mean? To endure some of the bull crap that you go through. Dealing with clubs. There's always politics. It's politics everywhere you go. But especially in the entertainment business, where you need to look a certain way, you need to act a certain way, you need to be a certain size. It's all these things that we have to go through being an entertainer. Clubs don't even want to look at us. You know what I'm saying? Unless we are at a level where we can fill seats. You know what I mean? Clubs won't even want to book us. We can't even be booked as features. Some of the club managers don't even want to give us a chance because they have their own clicks.
Wow.
This is things that we have to deal with. You know what I mean? It's been times where, they say, okay, y'all come to open mic, everybody come to open mic. And then when we go, we get looked over. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Not to say that the other comics isn't as funny, but come on. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, it's certain opportunities. I feel like in this business, it's enough where everybody can eat. When I book comics that just don't fit the demographics of the show, but that I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
It may not be funny to somebody else, and they be like, "Rob, why you book them?" But I feel like they're funny. And for the crowd that we have, they're the ones that I want. But I've learned, especially with booking, that like even celebrity comics don't want us on stage with them.
Oh wow.
And I'm talking Black comics at that. Don't want us on stage with them. They don't want a comic that sounds like them, that could potentially tell the same kind of joke they're gonna tell. They don't want none of that.
Oh wow.
Which puts us as minorities in a bubble. We're the only a race that's in a bubble. Like even the Spanish comics, Latin comics have their own community, which rallies behind them.
Wow.
We don't have that. We don't have that.
So how does that feel with all this stuff going on? Black Lives Matter, and then Black comedians can't even work together. I mean, seriously,
I don't
watch it. It's like,
for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I support the movement, but I keep an eyebrow up. You know what I mean? I strongly feel like, hey, yeah, Black Lives Matter, absolutely. But you can't pick and choose your battle.
Wow.
Either you in or you're not in.
Right.
Don't be in when there's a cop shooting us. When you're not in, when your neighbor next door just popped 3 or 4 people. You know what I'm saying? Then their lives matter too? Or just the one that got killed by the cop?
So like,
So,
and Rob, that raises a good point. Like what Natasha's saying is that, we don't understand the beef that goes on behind the scenes that you all deal with amongst yourselves, amongst the internal community of comedy. We just see y'all on stage and we see everything is laughter. So we thinking everything Gucci, you know what I'm saying? Everything is fine, but we don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. And like you said, to not be picked, or, that there's some bias in people selecting who they want to go on stage or who they want to open for them. I know that's got to be frustrating, especially when you mentioned that other communities rally and support each other. But I hear what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying that sometimes our own community doesn't do necessarily the same to support our movement, our efforts. And it starts with inside the comical community.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And Josie said it earlier. When she first got in the comedy, she didn't have the support of her community. She felt like she was alone. And 10 years later, she's been doing comedy a year longer than I have. I started in 2010. So like these some odd years later, it still feels the same.
Right.
Versus we see other comics put on the show and everybody's there. But then our community, unless you Kevin Hart, you don't want to show up. And I'll show what, $15, $20?
Yeah.
And then and you get the same amount of laughter if you would get going to see Kevin Hart.
That's
these are professionals. These are professional comics that hit the stage. You know what I'm saying? This is not an open mic. We produce actual shows where you can come, and have a good time and leave your troubles at home. But we don't get that same support,
So mentally, how do you cope with that? Because I know it's got to be like a hit in the gut, you know what I'm saying? But the show must go on. You still got to push through. You still got to deliver to the fan base that you do have. So how do you push through that?
I just do. I get in the mindset that this, at the end of the day, this is a business. My philosophy is, if nobody books you, book yourself.
Okay.
If you can't be on a show, create a show. And this is one of the reasons why I created my company, Millionaires. You know what I'm saying? So Millionaires Multimedia, which consists of film production, artists, and comedian management, website, and web hosting. And Josie helps me with my film production. So we working on a sitcom now called Grandma Faye and Dub, where we're two married, based in our 60s.
We just met Grandma Faye tonight.
Yeah, Grandma Faye. Yeah, so this is what we've been working on for the past 4 or 5 months. So we've have 3 episodes written, and we're gonna start filming probably in a few more months.
I love that. I love what you said about if you can't get on the show, make your own show. Woo! I just felt that, because that's similar to what Natasha and I are doing with Gravity Talks. Where they say, be the change you want to see. And right. Even, we may not be on other people's shows, and that's okay. But the Lord bless us with the vision to start our own thing. And as we continue to pursue and we feel the same way you feel, we want to be rallied behind as well. We want to lean on our community to support 2 brown-skinned girls out here trying to diversify mental health. you know, and all the aspects thereof under life. And it's like, you know, we've done this before, and I don't want the conversation necessarily go in that direction, but I feel you. I understand exactly what you're saying. And at times you out here trying to do this great work and do what you're called to do, kingdom work. And it is frustrating when you don't feel like you have the support that you should have when you're out here trying to really make a difference, you know.
Right.
So I'm with you, brother. I'm with you on that.
100%. All I'm gonna say, because the last time I started talking about it, I went on a tangent. But I will say this: if you're not a Facebooker, but I want to say, anybody know what I'm talking about? You put up a post, you get 10 likes, you put it on your story, you get 10,000. You be like, oh, everybody in the story now. So, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I just want to bring that up to those that are watching. But yes, I totally understand. And I want us to do better. And, outside of protesting, outside of marching, I want us to do better as a people with supporting one another. I would love to see that. And it's interesting how you brought that up because, you would think that you guys make everybody laugh, but just to hear the disconnect behind the scenes, it's all mental health and connected in some way. So, Rob, I definitely appreciate this conversation with you tonight. You just opened up our eyes to a whole nother discussion on this topic. Like
it's gonna be called mental health and the real.
Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna have to do because tonight I done heard so much stuff about everything. I'm just like, wow, the dollar.
We taking it on in.
Yep, everything. So listen, Rob, before we leave tonight, I have been instructed and told that comedians don't like to hear people asking this question. However, I had this question prepared before the night. So after the night, I won't ask another comedian that, but I'm going to ask you. So before we go, we want you to make us laugh.
You're right. We don't like that.
Be like, tap dance for me. I feel you.
Yeah, they be like, hey, yo, man, you'll comment? I'm like, yeah. You be like, make me laugh. I'm like, dude, why?
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Tell me something funny.
Tell you something funny?
That ain't no better, is it?
I would think.
Or share a funny story. I think I appreciate how comedians lean on real life experiences and they say this is a funny thing that happened to me. So tell us about a funny thing that happened to you. Maybe that's the better way to put it.
All right. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. True story. So I work for Walmart. Okay. So I am standing behind this customer. And before I say this, anybody's watching, please stop letting your uncle go to Walmart by himself with his debit card. Please. Okay? Anybody watching, besides y'all two, remember, go to Walmart with your uncle or auntie. Because we are sick and tired of them, okay? So older lady, Miss Nona, Miss Nona's about 73 years old. Looking at her, you wouldn't tell she was 73. Beautiful black woman, beautiful. But she always have like this attitude, and she stands with her hands behind her back after she rings you up. And so the gentleman puts his debit card in the machine. He looks at it. He says, no, I don't want no cash back. Miss Nona, with her attitude, says, just tell it no. So he looks around, he leans forward and says, no.
Jesus, oh Lord.
If you would have seen the tears coming out of my eyes.
Oh, in the line.
Miss Nona was like, oh. And she walks around and she hits no forward and walks back around. And she was just really upset about it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, well, I'm gonna miss the front end because we go we go through stuff like that with customers. You know what I mean? Like when I was in electronics, you know, I'm in electronics, and the older gentleman again, whoever watching, please stop sending your uncle to electronics by itself, okay? So he walks up to me. You know how old people walk. He walks up to me. I was like, yes, sir. He says, where your ragouts at? Ragouts, sir. Ragouts, spaghetti sauces in groceries. He said, no, your ragouts that you hook up to your TV, your ragouts. Roku? yeah, your Roku. Where your Roku's at? I was like, okay, it's over here. This is your Roku. This is what you want to hook up to your TV. He was like, so I hook up to this and I can watch everything I want. I said, yes, sir. You have to hook it up to your internet, your Wi-Fi. Internet? No, I ain't got no internet. I can't get that. Then why the hell you come over here? Whoever's looking, stop sending your uncle and your aunties to Walmart by themselves. These things we go through. This is real life.
This is what you got to deal with at your work, at your place of employment. I know you see it all. I know you see it all.
I work third shift now, so I ain't got to deal with none of that. It's
But
7 o'clock.
You work third shift. I'm sure you still get an eye food because the ones that do come through there, I'm sure it's 1 out of 3.
Not no more. We close at 11 o'clock.
But y'all had toilet paper wars.
That's a whole nother topic.
No, wait, we're not gonna get some more disinfectant in because America want to know right now because y'all be getting it in. Go ahead, tell us since we were.
Look, let me tell y'all something, America. Okay, y'all got all the toilet paper and disinfectant, but you left a whole aisle of toothpaste.
And so
we got toothpaste, soap, deodorant. Ain't nobody using none of those at home. Mouthwash, I got a whole thing of mouthwash in HVA. No toilet paper, but I got mouthwash. I don't know.
Okay.
Brother Rob, it's been real. Thank you so much for staying up late. I know you're tired and you got to go back to work. So I appreciate you tuning in tonight to share after the talk. But we probably going to have to do it on mental health and comedy because I think there's some uncharted waters that we might need to get into. Y'all done expose some things. So we might need to talk about that a little bit more.
Oh, yes, sir. You're going to be surprised, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you, guys. Hey, everybody, before he gets out of here, listen, guys, go to YouTube, look him up, Rob Wright, the comedian, Rob Wright. Check him out. He's already going viral. Look, let's support this brother, push him, and let's get him to 10 million. Come on, guys. Y'all know y'all can do it.
Over 5 million views. Yes, let's get him to 10 million.
I need it.
That's it.
I'm tired of these $50 YouTube checks. Come on.
I know that's right.
Listen, Rob, much respect to you, brother. And look, next time you got a show and it's safe to go, you let us know and we're gonna try to go. I rap too. You ain't even know that. You ain't even know that.
Absolutely. I'm down.
But I do want to say this. I do want to add this, and hopefully if Les and them are watching and Josie and Wanda, one thing that just hit me was, you know how they say beauty's in the eye of the beholder? Well, laughter is in the eye of the beholder. I think everyone, like they talked about some people who just don't receive some of their jokes well. Some people have gotten offended, but I think it's all in what you make it. I think you have to you got to put some effort to make your own self happy as well. You all help us with that, but I think we still got to tap in and dig deep and just kind of appreciate the joke, appreciate the story. So thank you, sir, again for your time tonight.
No problem. Anytime.
All right. Take care.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Respect, brother. Respect.
All right.
That
So
was fun. That was so much fun. I
that
love it.
was-
I
that
think I
was-
want to try out for comedy. I want to try out. I think I want to do it.
you can make it. Now you funny. You know you funny. You stop it. You already know.
I just wanted to try out though. And I mean, it's not my gift or nothing. I just
How you gonna try out? You just need to do it. You've been doing
I'll
it.
try it out.
Gravity talks.
You know, they've inspired me to try out, but don't steal my
Try out.
dream.
Where you gonna try out at?
I won't ready to do it right now. Just never mind. Never mind.
You
Wrong
funny.
person.
This is your
America, you can't share your dream with everybody. You
This
can't
is
tell everybody what you're gonna
here
do.
on Gravity Talks while the world is listening to you right now. You are funny.
But I was just trying to bring up the fact that, you know, it just touched my heart and I was encouraged to think about it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, bless
That means be quiet. I got it. All that.
you. It's late. It's late. It's late.
No,
So-
no. I was serious. But
She said, Yolanda said, she said, you going out for the team.
yeah,
So you trying out for the team.
yes, I'm trying out. I want to go on the road. But if I get that $100 in my hand on phone them, I don't know if I can handle it like them two did.
That was funny. Now that was funny. When he said she gave him her number and then saw that ring to my, I don't mess with no married man anymore. I said,
I loved it.
I'm
It
but
was
it's really cool. I appreciated everybody tonight. And
man, the stories, the diversity. Whew.
yeah. And somebody shared it also. Ashley Preston said, I love the diversity of the programs, dope concept. I think again, you know, letting people know we are just really trying to remain creative and continue to host shows that bring it all full circle. You know, mental health is intertwined in everything we do in life, whether we want to accept and believe that or not. It is what it is, and it's okay. And it's okay. And I think if we continue to identify a lot of similarities and common factors, then that's how you help destigmatize mental health. Because everybody realize we're all, you know, we're all in this together. So we are definitely stronger together. So but shows.
We got 20 shows. Yo,
20 shows.
Tonight made 21, so we officially grown now. Tonight made 21, so we officially grown.
We grown now. We ain't playing. We for real, for real.
So
we hit 20 shows. That's awesome.
And I wanna say, you know, a special thank you to everybody that has been watching. Some of you guys haven't missed a show, and you know that speaks volumes for me. And then some of you missed it, you went back and watched it, and made sure you let us know. And the love is real, guys. I mean, we just thought of it to do it and went head first in the pool off the diving board. I mean, for the high diving board, and just jumped. And so we you know, we've been blessed to bless people and help people and just spread the awareness. And I mean, our panelists have been awesome. We've had some
We had some awesome
I
talks.
can't wait till we do the review of the clips. Boy, it's gonna be some
Yeah, we got some treats coming for y'all. We're just gonna keep just reminding you how good these talks have been and how they're gonna continue to get better. And we're gonna continue to be out here. We ain't going nowhere.
That's it. So check this out, guys. Seeing that you know we ain't going nowhere 21 shows later and we still consistent, we've been switching up days and nights just to make sure that we are in that prime time, making sure that we can adjust the schedule with the viewers and everything, because we want you guys to watch. We want you to like, tag, share, do all that good stuff. So being that we're consistent, we plan out for the rest of the year. That's right. Tell your mama, tell your cousin. So therefore, being that we're not going anywhere, we need some sponsors, guys. We would love to have your support. And not only that, but we would love to support your business. If you got t-shirt business, it don't matter. If you got a hat business, I might can get it over my head. If not, I'll sit it on the side right there. But we got all kinds of stuff. If you give us your stuff, we're going to wear it. We're going to announce you. But not only that, if you want to financially support us, we'll accept that as well. And we'll also promote your business for you. But definitely, we're going to keep it going. And, you know, definitely we appreciate it. So listen, guys, next week, That's right. Next week, we are going to be doing mental health in the schools part 3. I believe it is, right?
Part 2.
It's part 2. I thought we was on part 2. I meant to say part 2. I don't know what I was thinking. I know why, because we did class 2020 and that was with the schools too. So that's where I got it from. No worries. Almost part 3, part 2.5. So we're gonna do that show next week. We got some awesome discussion that's getting ready to happen. It's about to jump off because guess what? They're opening up these schools. Now, some kids are going, but you know, the virtual life, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the virtual life.
Already been open.
I've been worried about these babies, especially the ones that got asthma, you know, having to wear a mask all day long. Let me tell you something. I don't know about you, but I'm about an hour after I've been walking around with a mask on, I started getting sick with the mask on, and then I'm coughing and everything, and I got to go get in the car I'm like, the Lord is telling me, get out that building. You ain't got no business. Go back in quarantine. So, but yeah, and so I'm interested to see, you know, what it's going to be like and how it's been for kids that've been in school already. It's just going to be an awesome discussion. We're going to hear from school officials, hopefully some parents. It's just going to be deep. It's going to be heavy, but it's going to be real. So I'm excited about it.
So aside from just the mask, we want to talk about the mental wellness aspect of schools, because again, look at the impact of the pandemic and other things that's going on in the world, how that mentally is impacting our children. And so we're going to touch on that a little bit as well on Monday night.
Definitely. I'm excited. How about you? You excited? I'm excited.
I'm very excited. Like I said, we got some great shows to end the 2020 year off strong. This last fourth quarter, we ended with a bang. We got some of your favorite shows that'll be coming back on other parts.
And also your favorite guests.
Some of your all-stars that will be joining us again. So, you know, be on the lookout for the flyers. Be on the lookout and continue to support us like we've been talking about. You know, we appreciate everyone who continues to rally behind us and continue with this movement. And getting the word out there, getting these talks out there, like and share. It's okay. It's okay to like and share, y'all. But those that do, and you don't do it without a flinch, we appreciate you. We really do. Like you said about sponsors, someone dear to me was blessed us with these awesome shirts. Love them. Yeah. Show your shirt. Love them. So again, you know, sponsors can come by way of shirts. It can come by way of makeup. You know, it can come by way of hair, earrings, anything you want for a showcase on our shows. Give you some love. We're gonna give you a shout out, and let the people know a little bit about who you are and the talents that you have. So, just wanted to make that plug. So, without further ado, let me see. We got some comments out here. Let's see. The virtual life ain't for the faint of heart either. So yeah, that virtual life. I think she's talking about virtual schooling. And then would love to share from a school administrator. So Whitley, hit me up and let me know exactly what you mean. We will be having a school administrator on, as well as someone who is heavy into the Wake County School Board. So they will be also on our show on Monday. So yeah, we're excited.
It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it, guys. And look, bring your questions and your comments, guys, because we gonna try to ask those questions at the end of the show. So tell your mama, tell your cousin about this one. It's gonna be heavy. So
heavy.
But we thank all the comedians. We thank you for your input. You guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep us laughing. Thank you, Wanda, for the TikTok videos. I don't have a TikTok account, but every time I get around somebody with TikTok, I'm gonna see if I can find the video. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you're connected with her, you gotta watch it when she with the fur on. It's awesome.
Yeah, Whitney wasn't good, but I love what's up, best friend. And she said, best friend, I'm pregnant. Y'all need to listen to that one. That's my top favorite of all time for Wanda's TikToks.
So let us support these guys. Y'all have a blessed night, and thank you again for the after talk.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Good night.